Welcome, everybody. Today, as Patricia said, we are at the fifth webinar, and the subject today will be presentation skills, the presenter. And for that, we have Irena Laska here. She's a nurse as profession, but she's very experienced in teaching and as national trainer in Albania. Irena is also CEO for Mary Potter Palliative Care since 2004. She's really a leader in advocating for palliative care in Albania. And as I said, a very experienced lecturer in palliative care for all nursing faculties in the country. She's also a member of National Working Group for Palliative Care in preparing, and she has important impact in preparing the law for palliative care in her country. Irena, please share your knowledge and your skills with us today, and we are keen to hear you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you, Patricia, for the invitation. For me, it is a great pleasure today to share with all of the participants some information regarding the presentation skills. As palliative care nurse, our task is not only to care for the patients and their family members, but we have a great responsibility because we need to promote palliative care and work for developing it all over the country and all over the world. And for this, we need to talk with many people around. We need to teach the others. And for this, of course, we need presentation skills, and we need to improve our presentation skills and to do the best for developing palliative care in our countries. Improving palliative presentation skills has been a common concern for people who has become more relevant during these times in the management and leadership context. And the individual does not need to have presentation skills initially, because the skills can be developed, and presentation skills can be seen both as a goal and as a means of helping organization achieve organizational excellence. The presenters who can create rapport with the audience is operating on both conscious and subconscious levels. At its best, the effect can be quite magical. The good news is that there is nothing magical about it. It is skills with almost anyone can master with a little time and many effort. For example, in a training for assessing needs in the spiritual dimension of the suffering in palliative care, the presenter himself should provide empathy and active listening in order to teach new skills in the audience. By the end of this session, participants will be able to define the context of using presentation skills to ensure the instructor presentation, to use eye contact, body language, and voice as an advantage in delivering presentation, and to use the PANIC model in preparing one presentation. There is an exercise or activity, and I have a question. What do we need presentation skills? Please check the option you consider appropriate and put them in the chat. Are there some needs for presentation in wedding speeches, conferences, events, toast at a dinner, explain project? Yes.
Do you have? I see slide number 1. Is
really?
Yes.
Yes.
Now number 4. It's okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
These are the options.
Thank you.
Please write in chat your option. We have the first answer, all options. needs presentation skills. Again, all options. Somebody else said teaching people and meetings. Another all options again. All. So most of people are agreeing that they need presentation skills in all the situations presented here.
Yes, this is true. And maybe there are many other situations that we need to have presentation skills or to improve our skills in doing presentation. Thank you for this. And there is another question regarding the definition of presentation skills. Please complete the definition by filling in the blanks with words provided below. There are ideas, communication, and abilities. And then together we can make the presentation regarding the definition of presentation skills. Again, you can put in the chat.
So put the order of the words, right?
Yes.
Ideas,
Yes.
communicate,
Yes,
and abilities.
Yes. In the icons are 3 words: ideas, communicate, and abilities. And together we can make the definition of presentation skills.
We have the first answer. One participant said abilities, communicate ideas. Again, Danny says abilities, communicate ideas. So how would be the definition? Again, we have the same answers.
Yes. And the definition is that presentation skills refer to abilities and qualities used to effectively,
communicate ideas.
Effectively communicate information and ideas. There's another question. Good communication skills. We make an effective leader? Do we think that is true or false? If someone have good communication skills, will be an effective leader?
Danny says true.
True?
Anata, true. Not always, but it will help, says
Yes.
Heidi.
We can keep going. Oh, sorry.
False.
It's false because strong communication skills allow leaders to clearly define their vision in a way that inspires and empowers the others, even if they are in political, professional settings and so on. Skills alone will not make you a leader, but they will support you, as all effective leaders possess outstanding communication abilities. And this is said by Barack Obama. There are 3 main components of good presentation. The structure of the presentation, which involves a brief introduction, essential information related to the content, and the conclusion. The structure of a presentation includes a brief introduction, essential information related to the content, and the conclusion. We need to build a connection with the audience, set expectation for questions during the presentation or after, provide the agenda and the objective, and outline key supporting points. We need content body. The message is delivered with a clear flow. We need to establish a connection with the audience through self-disclosure, anecdotes, or sharing personal stories of our experiences. And then is a conclusion. We state key points from the introduction, conduct question and answer session, who wants more details, provides tips of encouraging question to the audience. Another component for good presentation is body language and movement. Since the theme is usually broader than what can be covered in a time-limited presentation, it is important for the presenter to communicate clearly and concisely in a manner that is easy for the audience to understand. Body language and movement can make a very high role in doing a good presentation. You can make a memorable presentation by standing tall, making eye contact with your participants, and moving around to energize the audience. Never let them out of your sight. Looking in their eyes makes them feel that they are influencing what you are saying. Eye contact allows the presentation to approximate conversation, and so the audience feel much more involved in your presentation. Create an engaging presentation experience. Speak loudly and show passion and enthusiasm during your presentation. A strong verbal delivery context creates an ongoing, engaging presentation experience by speaking clearly, making sure you speak loudly, and showing passion of your topic. There is a video, and please watch it, and then at the end we need to see if there is art of sharing personal stories or experience, using anecdotes, reveal our own vulnerabilities, and to create emotion to the audience. Can we put video now, Andrea?
Yes, Guillermo, will you please share the video? Patricia, maybe you should stop.
Yes.
Okay.
It's coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Guillermo, we see your screen, not the video.
Now you can see the video, no?
Yeah. Yes, yes. Perfect. Thank you. But we don't hear it.
Now you can hear?
No, we don't hear it.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Yes. No, it's good.
Good morning. How are you? It's been great, hasn't it? I've been blown away by the whole thing. In fact, I'm leaving. There have been 3 themes, haven't there, running through the conference, which are relevant to what I want to talk about. One is the extraordinary evidence of human creativity in all of the presentations that we've had and in all the people here. Just the variety of it and the range of it. The second is that it's put us in a place where we have no idea what's going to happen in terms of the future. No idea how this may play out. I have an interest in education. Actually, what I find is everybody has an interest in education, don't you? I find this very interesting. If you're at a dinner party and you say you work in education, actually you're not often at dinner parties, frankly. If you work in education, you're not asked, you know, and you're never asked back, curiously. That's a thing that strikes me. But if you are, and you say to somebody, they say, what do you do? And you say, you work in education, you can see the blood run from their face. They think, oh my God, you know, why me? It's my one night out all week. But if you ask people about their education, they pin you to the wall. Because it's one of those things that goes deep with people. Am I right? Like religion and money and other things. So I have a big interest in education. I think we all do. We have a huge vested interest in it, partly because it's education that's meant to take us into this future that we can't grasp. If you think of it, children starting school this year will be retiring in 2065. Nobody has a clue, despite all the expertise that's been on parade for the past 4 days, what the world will look like in 5 years' time. And yet we're meant to be educating them for it. So the unpredictability, I think, is extraordinary. And the third part of this is that we've all agreed, nonetheless, on the really extraordinary capacities that children have, their capacities for innovation. I mean, Serena last night was a marvel, wasn't she? Just seeing what she could do. And she's exceptional, but I think she's not, so to speak, exceptional in the whole of childhood. What you have there is a person of extraordinary dedication who found a talent. And my contention is all kids have tremendous talents and we squander them pretty ruthlessly. So I want to talk about education and I want to talk about creativity. My contention is that creativity now is as important in education as literacy. And we should treat it with the same status. Thank you. That was it, by the way. Thank you very much. So, 15 minutes left. Well, I was born... No, I had a great story recently, I love telling it, of a little girl who was in a drawing lesson. She was 6 and she was at the back drawing, and the teacher said this little girl hardly ever paid attention. And in this drawing lesson she did. And the teacher was fascinated. She went over to her and she said, "What are you drawing?" And the girl said, "I'm drawing a picture of God." And the teacher said, "But nobody knows what God looks like." And the girl said, "They will in a minute." When my son was 4 in England, actually he was 4 everywhere, to be honest. I mean, for being strict about it, wherever he went, he was 4 that year. But he was in the Nativity play. Do you remember the story? No, it was big. It's a big story. Mel Gibson did the sequel. You may have seen it. I don't know. It was Nativity 2. But James got the part of Joseph, which we were thrilled about. We consider this to be one of the lead parts. We had the place crammed full of agents and T-shirts, you know. James Robinson is Joseph. He didn't have to speak, but you know the bit where the 3 kings come in? They come in bearing gifts, and they bring gold, frankincense, and myrrh. This really happened. We're sitting there, and they, I think, just went out of sequence. Because we talked to the little boy afterwards and said, you know, "Are you okay with that?" And they said, "Yeah, why was that wrong?" They just switched, I think that was it. Anyway, the 3 boys came in, little 4-year-olds with tea towels on their heads, and they put these boxes down. The first boy said, "I bring you gold." And the second boy said, "I bring you myrrh." And the third boy said, "Frank sent this." What these things have in common, you see, is that kids will take a chance. You know, if they don't know, they'll have a go. Am I right? They're not frightened of being wrong. Now, I don't mean to say that being wrong is the same thing as being creative. What we do know is, if you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original. If you're not prepared to be wrong. And by the time they get to be adults, most kids have lost that capacity. They have become frightened of being wrong. And we run our companies, as by the way, we stigmatize mistakes. And we're now running national education systems where mistakes are the worst thing you can make. And the result is that we are educating people out of their creative capacities. Picasso once said this. He said that all children are born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up. I believe this passionately, that we don't grow into creativity, we grow out of it. Or rather, we get educated out of it. So why is this? I lived in Stratford-on-Avon until about 5 years ago. In fact, we moved from Stratford to Los Angeles. So you can imagine what a seamless transition, you know, this was from LA. Actually, we lived in a place called Snitterfield, just outside Stratford, which is where Shakespeare's father was born. Are you struck by a new thought? I was. You don't think of Shakespeare having a father, do you? Do you? Because you don't think of Shakespeare being a child. Do you? Shakespeare being 7. I never thought of it. I mean, he was 7 at some point. He was in somebody's English class, wasn't he? How annoying was that?
Would you please put on pause?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's a very nice video, and we would. I have an echo here. No, it's fine. I think it's a very nice video. We will put it in chat because it's really long and it might not give us time to have questions and answers at the end. So Irena, if you don't mind, we will already, Patricia put it, the link in chat, and we may continue with our discussion based on this video.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Patricia, for putting in the link, because it's very useful and yeah. Yes.
We were at the slide 11.
Yes. Thank you. Effective communication goes beyond merely exchanging words. It involves perceiving, understanding, and working with spontaneous verbal and non-verbal communication. In fact, research is conducted that there are 3 levels of communication, which 55% belongs to non-verbal communication, visual and facial expression, eye contact, posture of the body, gestures, and the position and movement. 38% is vocal and belongs to the tone of the voice and the rhythm of during the talking, and only 7% is belongs to verbal communication. Body language is very important in doing good presentation and being successful in this. Please match each emoticon with the emotion it represents, and after you have paired them, write a corresponding emotion beneath each one. You can see confused, happy, worried, and so on in the picture below, and we can pair them to find the right answer. Please put them in the chat.
Shall we put, we consider the first phase number 1, the second number 2, because we should know how to make the pairs.
Okay, we can answer with the number, yes. Because there are only 3 colors.
Okay.
Okay. We can say, for example, confused number 1, happy number 3 or 4. Yeah.
We are still waiting.
Mm-hmm.
We have confused number 4, happy number 3, worried number 1, annoyed number 5, and defensive number 2. Again, the same answer, also from Danny, and then we have from Tina, confused number 4, happy number 3, worried, number 5, annoyed, number 1, and defensive 2.
Yeah, thank you. That's right. Thank you very much. And this is needed because when individuals are in sync with each other, there is heightened ability to comprehend not only what is said, but also what is left unsaid. When we communicate on a face-to-face basis, we use elements of body, words for the content delivered with a voice of certain variability. We need to ensure that each element fits with the other and with the message to ensure that our message is received and understood very well. Be careful with body language, with voice, variability, and voice intelligibility. Stand firmly and move deliberately. Do not so overshift. Move at appropriate times during the presentation. For example, move during transition or to emphasize a point. Stand where you can see everyone. Do not block the visual screen. Decide on a resting position for your hands. This should feel and look comfortable. Gestures should be natural and follow what you are saying, and movements can emphasize your point. Make gestures strong and grips. It's okay to use both arm or hands. Keep your hands away from your face. When pointing to the screen, do not do so deliberately and not wave. Use the 3 T's methods: touch, turn, and talk. Touch the first point on the slide that could be on the wall behind you, but then turn to the audience and deliver the content by talking facing the participants. Rate of speeches. Be careful with the volume, pitch of tone, and emphasis. Be careful with articulation, pronunciation, the pauses, and substandards of grammar. Use the panic model if you are in fear. Outline your purpose, analyze your audience, identify the need, collate your information, and then prepare your communication. Oops. I can't move the slides further. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you help me, Patricia?
Yes, I can help you.
Yes. What number? What's
This?
the next one?
No.
Do you see number 16?
I'm seeing panic model slides. I need the purpose slide.
Yes, I have the purpose. No.
I
But
will take
Yes.
You
control
should-
and I will move it for you, will I? Yeah. Can you see panic purpose, slide 16?
I'm not seeing it.
down there is a button, synchronize with presenter. It's red. You should press that one to see, because now we see number 16.
No. Maybe it's technical problems.
Yes, Irina, if you could take control again.
Yeah,
And then
I did.
Yes, now you should be able to move it.
Okay.
Is that working?
No, maybe
No.
it's the internet connection. I don't know.
Okay, I will take control and I will move it for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so now we are on slide 16.
I can't see it, Patricia. Maybe I need to
Maybe you open your presentation and you follow the slides on your screen and you just say Patricia next.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we are at 16.
Yes.
Yeah.
In order to produce a successful presentation, it is important to have a clear idea of what a presentation it is to be about. For example, if you are asked to train a colleague, you need to clarify whether you are required to train in some specific task or simply to familiarize with general routine. Next, please, the audience.
Yes.
Yes. Find out as much as you can about the intended audience and focus on your presentation accordingly. Try to figure out if the presentation, if the person in the audience prefer to receive a new idea, starting with details to a broader picture, or from the big picture work down into detailed description. Most managers are required to think in terms of strategy for the next couple of years and competition. It's likely that such people would prefer the approach starting with a big picture description, then work down into detailed description. Staff involved in the research, on the other hand, is more likely to need details and stick with the details with many facts and figures. The need, please.
Yes.
Be prepared for the difficult participants, those who are well-knowing, those who monopolize the discussion, those who constantly whisper, and participants who remain silent. If you are not sure what approach to adopt, you may try starting with high level of overview, then work down to a medium degree of detail, and then leave plenty of time for people to ask questions. Information. Try using the following structure. Introduce yourself. The participants need to know who is in front of them, the connection that he or she have with the topic. State what you'll be talking about. State how you'll be talking about it. State what you intend to be the outcome of your presentation. For example, an informed group or lively discussion. State what you expect your audience to do, to listen, to take notes, to read a handbook, to ask questions before, during, or after the presentation. Communication. There is need for approval and need for help. These words are the essential of relationship that should be established between presenter and audience as well. These pictures represent the dynamic of presentation because they suggest rather than a partnership than a show, a linkage, not a confrontation, and closeness, not a distance. There are 4 points in giving a good presentation. The slide 21. Is it okay, Patricia?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Plan, prepare, and practice and present. Plan, prepare, practice, and present are 4 essential steps that are required to achieve success in almost every field of life. These steps are especially important when it comes to public speaking, presentation, or any other type of performance. The first step in any successful endeavor is to plan. Planning helps you to clarify your goals and create a roadmap to achieve them. When it comes to public speaking or presentation, planning involves researching your topics, creating an outline or a structure for your talk, and identify your audience. Knowing your audience will help you tailor your message and deliver it to their needs and interests. Additionally, planning also includes preparing your materials, such as slides or handouts, presentation to ensure that it flows smoothly and effectively. Once you have a plan in place, the next step is to prepare. Preparation involves gathering all the necessary resources, practicing your delivery, and ensuring that you are well rested, and mentally prepared for the presentation. This step also includes addressing any potential technical issues that may arise, such as testing your equipment and making sure that your slides or other materials are easily accessible. The third step is to practice and then practice, because practice is essential to delivering a successful presentation. It helps you to become comfortable with your material, perfect in your delivery, and build your confidence. Practice your presentation in front of a mirror or record yourself to identify areas for improvement. Practice also allows you to participate in any potential challenges that may arise and prepare to address them. And then, finally, the last step is to present. The presentation is where all of hard work and preparation comes together. When presenting, it is essential to maintain eye contact with your audience, speak clearly and confidently, and engage your audience through interactive elements such as questions and discussions. Remember to stick to your plan and keep your presentation focused and conscious. Thank you, and this was my presentation.
Thank you, Irena. Now, if from participants we have any remarks, questions, answers to what was in the presentation to this subject, please write in chat.
I wanted to say that the biggest challenge is to present is to be online.
Yes, I was wondering myself during your presentation whether there is 38% for non-verbal communication, and how is it expressed in online meetings, because you see only a face.
Yes. And sometimes you are not seeing the face because we are lacking the participants. I have been teaching today from 9 o'clock, and we had an extraordinary training, and the participants were so motivated to stay and hear more. And I said them that now I'm going because I have another presentation. And they said that you'll be the best, but we know that it is not like to be with your friends and your colleagues in your language. It is challenging, but everything is going well. We need to try and to do the best to develop and to improve our skills in doing presentation. It is really important.
Yes, technology is still not our friend, but will become soon, because it seems that this is the way we go with education and these events. Still an opportunity to meet from so many countries like that. We have a comment here from Danny. That's the spirit, self-efficacy rules, also in online teaching webinars. So what challenges do you think, if there is any participant who can share with us a challenge as a presenter?
You mean online or being present in front of?
In front of, let's say, in front of the people, because this was the most oriented presentation. Yeah. We have, but before we have here a question. You said, pay attention to your posture or body. What do you do with your hands? Are you allowed to hold something?
Body language is very important in doing presentation because you need to feel comfortable with yourself, to feel confident, to stay tall, and then to move the hands where it needs to move. Because sometimes the participants will have not very interest to see you because they want to hear you and then to see your hands and then to see the slides. So you need to be careful with body language. Regarding the challenges during the presentation, in my opinion, sometimes in making diverse group from the primary health care when we are working now, it's sometimes there are not the right people to attend the training. Maybe they are noisy, they want to keep the mobile in front of them and to chat. They are not interested to hear what you are talking about because they are not in the right place. So the best thing is that we need to choose the right people in the right place to receive the right information. If they are not interested in palliative care, for example, they can't be patient to sit down and to hear and to be active during the session we are giving. But there are many challenges. The time, if you are teaching for a long time, for example, if you are not very loudy, they are sleeping sometimes. Yeah.
Irena, what do you do with your hands? Are you allowed to keep something in your hand regarding this body language?
If I need to keep a marker to write in the flip chart, I can do it. But if I can't, if I don't want to write down something, it is better to don't keep anything in your hands, because the participants are looking at your hands and the things that you are keeping. Or regarding the apparent, the dresses, you need to be careful with your dresses because, to respect the audience, because they are following at your, let's say, eyes and your lipstick, putting very, very red lipstick in your lips, or taking very hard visuals or mini phones. Like, yes, they are looking at your posters, but not reading in your minds, and
the message is not going.
Yes.
Yeah. We have another comment here. The fear that you will make mistakes, especially when you are presenting to experts in the area who are more learned than you. You can't know it all, so it's sometimes scary. Says Seydou Salifu, we are PhD students at the University of Dundee, Scotland, from Ghana. So there are challenges gave by the audience sometimes.
Yes, and we have like these challenges because in my work I need to train doctors and nurses, and they can't accept a nurse to be as a teacher in front of them. And sometimes we have, let's say, conflicts during the presentation, but you need to be very well structured in what you are saying, and to be clear and to have a lot of arguments, to have evidence-based and to show this to them. You know, you need to be competent in the topic you have chosen to say.
So these skills should be added to the professional competence when you speak.
Yes, of course.
Another challenge here, underlined by Mina Lisa, it's hard to lecture in a seminar after lunch because nurses or participants can be so tired. It's hard to not focus on the sleeping participants.
And I have a suggestion, because in the trainings we are organizing are seeing this, and we left the lunch for the end. We can organize some very short breaks during the sessions, a coffee break, of course, for
Many
15
coffees.
or 20 minutes, and then maybe two short breaks in the middle. But I suggest not any other session after the lunch, because nobody will follow you anymore. Tired, sleeping, no interest. Yeah, and the energy is going to the stomach.
Yeah. What about energizers after lunch? Would that be a suggestion to use some energizers if you had lunch and then a new session? Because sometimes we don't make the schedule as we want.
Yeah, maybe some exercise or work in groups, or yes, any video, very attractive to turn them back again to the session. Maybe very little time discussion regarding their challenges or the needs of them, or the things that they wanted to learn more or to hear more. Yeah, just share them in peers and do some exercises. Or put something more interesting than train.
Yeah. Does somebody else has the other questions or remarks? We have again here presenting you also learn to be humble. It's not bad to say that you don't know the answer.
Yeah, yes. But you can then, going back to another question. For example, what do you think? What if you were in the play, or the question belongs to your, what do you do? Or let me check and then I'll come back with any answer. But it's not good, maybe, from my opinion, to say that I don't know this, the answer for this question. I have not any answer, but I'll come back to you. Or let's ask the audience. What do they think about this?
Yeah. Sometimes it's useful to have support from the audience.
Yes, because nobody knows everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
We are not God.
But you need to be careful with the question, because they are saying that, she didn't know anything. She didn't have any answer for the question. Just share the information and ask everyone there, and make them involved in the discussing and having answers as well.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Irena, for sharing with us. We were preparing to close, but still we have another question. Can you give tips for speaking in front of large groups?
Yes, of course. Be aware regarding the people who are the participants, the profession, the interest of them, and then feel comfortable and feel confident, and think that you are the only specialist there, let's say regarding palliative care, and the audience doesn't know anything regarding palliative care. This will make you feel more comfortable and free of fear, because speaking in the big audience is the biggest fear, as I know from the literature. So, but we need to have skills, and we need to be trained to improve skills talking in the biggest audience. And we need to be aware regarding the voice. Are we hearing by the participants in a very big space or audience? because if they are not hearing you, the session will be boring and no one can stay anymore.
Thank you, Irena.
Thank you. And very sorry for the technical problems. I'm not very clever in the technical points, and so we need help. Thank you for this, Patricia and Andrea, and yes, everyone.
No problem.
We need skills for this as well. We need to improve skills.
Of course, we will adapt from one to another. I think we already have this sharing from Patricia. It's great that you are in control.
It's an illusion.
Yeah. You have another comment here in chat, Irena. Thank you very much, Irena. You gave us confidence to put ourselves out there and get exposed without that much fear. Thank you. Thank you for the discussion, and thank you very much again.
Thank you. And yeah, don't forget that there is the first time anywhere. So just start trying to present your work and your skills, and then keep going. Thank you.
I remember something from your presentation that there is no born skill in this, but you have to put many efforts and invest time. There is nothing, no magic in doing this.
And no one is the best in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you all.